What's up, guys? LA Toy Guy here. This video is going to be a little different than the haul videos. I'm currently in the process of starting to reorganize and re-inventory all the figures and vehicles that I have, and kind of deciding on like what I want to do with the room. I've mentioned earlier in previous videos. If you haven't seen it, I used to have like a little table that was maybe like 4 feet long by 2 feet wide, and it's right where these figures are right here. And it was just a lot of the older vintage toys that I liked more than others, I guess. And I didn't want to keep them in totes and stuff, so I just put them out there until I got a chance to put them someplace properly. But with that being said, I'm gonna. I've decided that I'm going to make a diorama shelf for the more modern figures because there's more articulation and it gives you more options to pose them and interact with the environment a little bit more. And for the vintage stuff like the OG He-Man stuff and the GI Joes in particular, from like I guess 82 to 93, I'm gonna display those like you would typically see, like just standing up straight on the wall, and I'll have some of the Thundercats and stuff like that. It's more than likely going to end up on this wall. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these just yet, but I mean, I have to take them all down and patch up the wall and stuff like that anyway. So it's probably a good spot for it. And it's away from the window, so I'll show you real quick. That's the window. I usually block out the lights, block out the window with those two big posters there. And I'm rarely up here. It's probably I put some things up here to store. Then I do shoot the haul video for you guys, and that's pretty much it. And this particular attic isn't really climate controlled. It doesn't get too hot and doesn't get too cold, so I don't really stay in here that long when it's hot out because it's obviously uncomfortable. Wintertime I can kind of deal with it. I'll bring a little space heater up here, but so the reason why I put these totes up here and have these figures, just random figures up there right now. The Sentinel is from the 3 3/4 line of Marvel Universe, and that's a costume kid, and that's a deluxe. I believe that's Alita, and then you have one of the wheeled warriors, one of the bad guys. So I was kind of determining how much space I needed to dedicate for the diorama shelves, and I'm trying to determine whether how high it needs to be and how deep it needs to be. Behind the diorama shelf is going to be obviously the totes where I have all my things, and hopefully I won't need as many totes because I'm going to be opening up a ton of GI Joes, classified, and I probably have 200 or so 6-inch GI Joes, roughly the same amount of Marvel Legends, and miscellaneous DC stuff. And I'm hoping that once I open some of them, I can get rid of some of these totes. But ultimately, yeah, I won't need as much room to store because I'll be opening things. And I was also considering making like multiple dioramas for different scales. So even though the diorama shelf will be predominantly 6-inch stuff because that has the best articulation, I think it would be cool to have stuff for a 3 3/4 inch scale, even 5-inch scale, which is like the He-Man stuff, and have that interact with the diorama because I know me personally, I get tired of looking at the same thing over and over again. So It would be nice to have something I could just change and interact with and keep things fresh. I'm going to switch the camera around, and this way you can see the other side of the room. Okay, so this is the other side of the room. I remember a video not too long ago. I showed you how I was going to put my 3 3/4 inch carded figures up on the ceiling, and I utilized some I guess it's like tacky silicone stuff that I got from Amazon. It didn't hold up well, as you can see that those little uh, points where there's missing paint, that's where they were sticking to. I'm gonna attribute it mostly to the paint being old, because on the back of the stickies you could actually see parts of the ceiling stuck to it. So it probably works well enough as long as you have good paint. This is obviously old paint, and I don't. Again, the space isn't really utilized too much, so I'm probably gonna have to repaint that also once I get to like this side of the room. And over here is kind of where the counter of where I do the videos. I just use it as like a shelf top to put my keyboard and my iPad and uh, other peripherals to just shoot these videos and to keep things organized. So it's kind of like the workstation to track all these toys. But I'm thinking this side of the room is going to be storage. Well, there's going to be like a wall here where it's the same concept, where it's going to be on rollers, so I could slide it back and forth to access the totes that are behind the shelf. So this side is probably going to be more of the uh, the vintage stuff. You can't tell from this depth, but it's probably about like um, 6 feet, 7 feet deep back there. So you could fit a lot of totes. It looks a little deceiving just because of the angle of the camera and the perspective that you're viewing the room at. But ultimately, there's tons of room back there to store all the stuff. But I think the best thing to do is just take as much as I can out of here and reorganize things accordingly. Behind these box figures, there's probably about 3 rows of totes, and they're all filled with stuff that I haven't seen in ages because it's not easy to get to. But just like this cabinet that I built, or this shelf or desktop area, it's on wheels, so everything will be movable, and I'll be able to access things a little easier. And you could see, I guess you can get a scale of the size of the room by just based on the figures and the totes stacked up over there. But it's a little bit of an awkward space. I don't want to outgrow this room. In fact, I'm probably going to be selling off a bunch of things, which kind of like will be another video. I guess I don't want to start like a rant video, or be like a channel that rants about stuff and like the right and wrong ways to collect, and trash vendors or trash I guess manufacturers and stuff. I just want to like give my perspective on things, on the reasons why I do things, or the reason, or the logic behind how I collect, and maybe give some insight to newer collectors. I think the channel says that I've been collecting since 2012, but it's probably closer to '09. So yeah, I like to probably give my perspective of the things I've learned over the years of collecting, and maybe give some points and shed some light on things that uh, newer collectors probably haven't thought of yet. But yeah, this is the current state of the room. It's actually 4th of July. You might hear the fireworks in the background. And I had some time, so I figured I'd start moving things. Like I showed you before, I broke down that little table that had all the figures on it and put them in totes. And then while I'm sorting things out and moving things around, I could probably show you like segments of the collection. So I don't collect Ninja Turtles at all. Let me not say at all. I would say there's, out of all the Ninja Turtle things that ever came out, the only thing I really collect is, I don't even remember where I put it. I don't know, it's some newer Krang with the big body, and that's the only thing I really want as far as like Ninja Turtles are concerned. But I'll show you what I got right here because it's right in front of me. So with regards to Ninja Turtles, I do have some, but got this I actually got from a flea market. I forgot exactly what I was buying or what I was looking at, but he gave me all these Ninja Turtles and some other miscellaneous things. I forgot what, for $5. I didn't have any Ninja Turtles at the time, and I really don't intend on adding to the collection. These, they're cool and all, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure which gen this is. This one's well, these are probably the OGs because this one says from 1989. Let's see if I can get the focus. Yeah, so this is from 1989. I'm assuming they're all from that from around that time because they were all in some bucket or shoebox or whatever he sold it to me. So I remember this is like the Rat King or Sewer Rat guy. Yeah, so I don't collect them. They're definitely cool to have, and at $5, I was like, I don't mind having it. This guy's missing a leg. This guy's like missing everything, but that's pretty cool just in general. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my Ninja Turtle collection. So now you got to see that, and so yeah, over time I'll show you guys more. I obviously also have a lot of Transformers, and there's way more Transformers on the way. And I think in regards to like robots, I think I'm gonna just focus on stuff from the late '80s and maybe super early '90s, and possibly getting rid of all these Titan class Transformers. So the next videos I'm thinking of talking about scale, diorama layouts. I don't think I'm gonna film myself building the shelves because building all that stuff is kind of stressful enough. But I do plan on doing a 3D rendering of it. So maybe there's some way I could screen record that and show you guys how I put it all together and how I figured out how to put things. But until next time, if you see some, that was another thing. So if you saw something in the room that kind of caught your eye, and it's been hard for you to find, and or it's like for whatever reason the value in it went up really high, just shoot me a message or just make a comment down below, and then I'm more than willing to do trades. I actually came to the realization that I'm not gonna. I don't want to say I don't. I want to get rid of everything or decrease the size of the collection. It just doesn't really make sense to have all this stuff just in totes, because again, I'm not in it to resale. I don't go to flea markets to go like like lowball people to death. If I want it, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm not looking to hoard anything. But if someone offers me something like these Ninja Turtles for $5 for a whole bunch of old figures that they don't even probably care about, then I'll probably get it with the intentions of possibly trading or selling them to one of my local toy collectible stores for credit for something that I'd want instead. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.